Hello my fellow book nerds. In this video we're gonna do the book review for Catching Fire. It is not Hunger Games 2, it's Catching Fire. People, why? How did they get that mixed up? Maybe it's the movies, I don't know, but it's very annoying. But we're doing Catching Fire, the book review. I love this book, but I must admit I love the first one more. Maybe because it's the introduction, more of the Hunger Games. We'll get into all that and we'll figure it out. Okay, so let's get right into it. So first off is the story. How the story is to me. Wow. I must admit it's kind of slow. Like, it is very slow paced. You're getting into it, like into the world of the capital and how Victor is and how pretty much Katniss is dealing with all of it. And President Snow. You finally actually get to really see him in this book. In the first book, you don't, he's just kind of there. She kind of mentions him, but not really. In this book, she actually talks to him, which is, I wish she was blessed with not having to do that. But very creepy. Very cool. I'm gonna get into him in a sec. But I felt like this book was kind of slow. You just slowly get into it. And I mean, I was still captivated through the whole thing, but it was slower than the other books, obviously. You pretty much see her life as a Victor and how she has to go through the Victor tour, and try to prove pretty much that yes, she's in love with somebody. I can't imagine how that, like she likes Peter, obviously she cares for him, but she's not sure if she loves him. So how do you like, I don't know, you'd have to be a very good actress, because I would suck at that horribly. Oh yes, and she even goes back to the games, which, how did I forget that? The whole point of the Hunger Games is the games, so she goes back to the games in this book, and obviously shocking, kind of scary, but in the end she ends up just fighting to save Peeta, which is amazing. So you still get that, you still get the part of the games, even though it was like at the end of the book. Not a favorite part. What I do like is also in the first paragraph she captivates you right away. Because I read it like a month ago, I think. I reread these, so I was like, oh, let me just read the first chapter and like kind of like get the feeling of the book again, right? And I read it, the first paragraph, and I was already in trance, like, what's going on, what's happening, why is she out in the cold, you know, drinking tea that's already cold, so that means she was out there for a long time. What is she doing? So very good starting point right off at the bat. Very good book. Let's talk about the characters. I love talking about the characters, they're so awesome. So Katniss, in this book, she has to, there's a lot of things going on. First, President Snow comes to see her. She is overwhelmed by that, just that thought. Like she says that normally President Snow sticks to the capital, he doesn't go anywhere else. So for him coming all the way to District 12 is a massive thing. That being said, she has to deal with him, like, and she describes him very well, because the smells, like even just the smells make me kind of gag when she's with him. I'm talking about Katniss, not President Snow. But with Katniss having to figure out how to prove that she's in love with Peeta, if she fails, then she knows pretty much her family's in complete danger. Well, in the whole time her family's in complete danger, but if she fails, she knows for sure that her family is either gonna die, especially Gale, who's a cousin, but not really a cousin. He's more of, it's more when he kissed her, I think. Just one little kiss ruined a lot. If he didn't kiss her, it would have saved a bunch of problems, wouldn't it? But he had to kiss her. But when she finally goes back to the games, she realizes what Peeta was saying in the first book, how he wanted to be more than the games, like to prove that they didn't own him. And now she definitely understands that, because during the whole, as she was a victor, she felt the whole weight of the capital on her, and she's like finally wanting to prove in the end, like, they don't owe me, I do what I want to do, pretty much. And that's when she shoots. Well, like, kids, no, I mean, come on, if you haven't read the books, please read the books or watch the movies. It's pretty much the same thing. Wow, no, it's not. The books are way better, but the ending's the same. She shoots an arrow and pretty much goes against the capital again. I hope I said that right. But yeah, she goes against the capital again and destroys the arena, which is sick. But let me get going. I like that now she understands that, and she's completely willing to give up her life to save these people, especially PETA. Once they realized that they were going back into the games, she devoted herself to save PETA. Not for, even though it's sad, like, now she's not fighting to come back for her sister, she's coming back for PETA, because obviously it's kind of obvious that Snow was gonna kill her from the beginning, so she might as well save PETA. I think that was the whole point and her reasoning behind it all. PETA, despite everything, he's still awesome. I love that even though he realizes Katniss' indifference towards him, he's still able to be quite mature and still be her friend and still care for her and help her get through this whole ordeal with Snow and trying to prove that they're still in love. I mean, obviously this man is he's born to be in the spotlight, pretty much. So he helps her out through it all, even though he knows she's indifferent to him and she's not sure if he's not sure if she loves him. So throughout it all, he's still there, and I think that's an amazing character trait, that he is there as a friend, at least to help her out and to save themselves and their families. President Snow. I reread the chapter where he talks to her, and I'm just like, I felt like a spider was climbing up my back, like, ugh, creepy. He's malevolent, kind of just, ugh. Like, I like how this one person describes people that are horrible human beings. A piece of garbage, completely piece of garbage. So he's definitely very creepy, malevolent, and cunning above all. Very horrible villain, and I think that you actually get to see him in this book. And she's coming out with a book pretty much about him, or I think it already came out. I'm pretty sure I saw it. So I was like, oh, got to read this book, because President Snow is a fascinating character, though he is very creepy and very nasty. Like, even the smells, like, she smells rose, okay, rose smells beautiful, obviously, but if any perfume rised above its level of how, like, just very strong, is nasty. And the smell of that mixed with blood is just awful. Ugh, I can't, like, I'm imagining it and it's nasty. So I must admit that's very good, like the way they wrote it, because the way she wrote it, because like, you see me getting creeped out by the smells and all that. So that's a good thing you want in your readers when you write. So props for the writing, gross for the character. Overall, with him, you know that he just wants to stay in power and he wants things to stay the same as they are. It's not happening, obviously, so anyway, that's what he wants. So I understand why he goes to Katniss in the first place, to try to convince her that he can kill all of her family, her friends, and everyone, and tries to keep her, like, tries to force fear into her, and he does a very good job at it. But obviously he couldn't. The only reason he did that is because later on you realize that the uprisings were just gonna keep happening. So he tried to control her. She tried to control Katniss, because if he controlled Katniss, then a lot of what is happening in the districts would probably just die down if Katniss didn't side with them. So keeping her in fear was kind of a smart way to make her not fight. Obviously in the end it didn't work, but it was a very good strategy in my mind. Okay, my reaction to this lovely book. First off, what I loved was Peeta dropping that baby bomb, like saying that pretty much Katniss was pregnant. Like, dang, that was like, that disrupted the whole thing. That could have stopped the games from happening, but I mean, he was able to get the Capitol on his side and not on President Snow's side. I mean, that's just insane and good, just with a couple of words. Amazing. So I love that part. The arena was quite brilliant. I like the idea of a clock, but I mean, once everyone figured it out, it's not that like amazing, because it's not as like shocking, you know? Maybe that's why it was so short. But besides that, I thought the whole idea of a clock was brilliant, and that they kept them very close proximities, because like in the other book, the first one, Katniss was able to walk a lot, like far away from everyone else, so they had to drag her back in, right? But in this one, they're all like right there next to each other. So it was a fast games, I must admit. Yeah, it was quite brilliant. I liked it. I liked the idea that every single section had like at a certain hour something was gonna happen, but once you figured it out, you could just avoid everything easily. So it was okay. I loved Finnick. I thought he was amazing. When you realize like what the Capitol has done to him, you realize why he is the way he is. But I mean, he saves Peeta. He is willing to help in the uprising with the rebellion and all that. He saves Peeta. He protects Peeta and Katniss throughout the whole games. So all in all, I kind of love him, and who he is a very happy person, and he's very sweet. I love him. I thought he was great. Plus they describe him as really good looking, so it's always a plus. Like, one strand of hair is weird. See? Like, what? Whatever. What I hated. Okay. I hated that the games were so short. I mean, I think the games start like around here. About there. Like, so most of the book is not about the games. And I understand why, but I mean, I just love the whole point of reading the Hunger Games is that you read about the Hunger Games, how they're happening and all that. So that is one thing I didn't like. I wish they were longer, not as short. Yeah, I just wish it was longer. The part that broke my heart in this book was when Cinna died, or when you don't technically know if he dies, but I mean he gets the crap beat out of him, like, and then the moment that it happens, like when Katniss is about to go into the Hunger Games, when she's in that little cylinder tube and she can't get out, they go in and beat the crap out of him in front of her and then drag him out. Like, I just bawled the whole, like, it was just devastating. I love Cinna. He's one of the characters that you just love right off the bat, and he dies in a horrible way. Oh, breaks my heart. Wow, I ended on a horrible note, didn't I? Cinna dying. With this whole book, it's not exactly a happy book. It's a very amazing story that pretty much shows you how to start a rebellion, right? But it's still an amazing story that I definitely believe is worth reading. And you see a bunch of different characters come to work, and I didn't even talk about Haymitch or Effie, but you see them all going together, and it's quite amazing what happens and how it happens. and you just still in the end just root for Peeta and Katniss to stay alive and hope that they eventually end up together, because we know she's not gonna end up with Gale. We know that from the beginning. We know that. So okay, that is the end. That is my reaction to the books and how much I love them. But thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below so you can get a bunch of other book reviews and book nerdy stuff. And follow me on Instagram too. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.